How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout, the YouTube show where you subscribe for news on the cryptocurrencies you know and love, that stuff you guys love to hear about, that crypto talk. So today, I think it's important to talk about Electroneum, especially with what we've been seeing in terms of the smartphone space of the world that I know you guys love to hear about, how they've been integrating with cryptocurrencies behind the scenes, whether people love it or not. The fact of the matter is that, of course, with Electroneum being the way that it is and leveraging cryptocurrency in terms of basically mobile mining and all these things are going to go a long way towards basically connecting parts of the world that people never really imagined having that sort of potential to be connected before. Realistically, when we talk about the availability that the internet really makes possible in terms of developing countries, and of course all the way across the board, Electroneum is certainly a candidate to really capitalize on what cryptocurrency means. So of course we're going to start off the video with this interesting tweet. If you've been living under a rock, you may not know that cloud mining is now available on iOS and Android. Of course, if you're a user and unsure on how all of it works, you guys can check out this video. Of course, you guys should probably go and check that out if you're not up to date on exactly how cloud mining is going to be playing a pretty big role in the future of the space. But we got some pretty interesting responses, and of course it's definitely interesting to see how Electroneum is basically making these inroads, which is really going to serve to be pretty substantial as far as Electroneum goes. Basically taking a look at the Electroneum roadmap, of course, quarter 3 of 2017, quarter 4, quarter 1 of 2018, all the way up until quarter 1 of 2019 is what we're looking at. First atomic swap with simple swap, purchase ETN with PayPal on Crytrex, price shop plugin launched, and of course that's coming soon right here is definitely something. Attending MWC 19 with 2 new announcements. Sure that the community is very much looking forward to these. Apple iOS app goes into beta, cloud mining for iOS release, cloud mining for Android release, enhanced user registration process, launch vendor directory. So of course, cryptocurrency relatively at a standstill. Of course, with the market cap being where it is, it's always tough to make it through, breakout. But of course, I think that you also have to see the silver lining. We have been moving sideways. There hasn't really been that significant of a dip, especially we've been able to pretty much maintain at these levels, which is pretty exciting to see that cryptocurrency has been sort of moving along. Of course, I don't necessarily get distracted by the day-to-day. Pretty much excited to see. Electroneum being pretty cheap at the moment. I'm definitely filling my bags every chance that I get. Of course, it's interesting to see how many cryptocurrencies are actually so underpriced, and people are kind of just caught up in seeing. It's interesting how the cryptocurrency space, people are always so quick to hop on board and buy overpriced Bitcoin when things are, for example, 2017 to early 2018, people were buying small fragments of a percentage of things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now when they actually have a chance to fill up their bags, they're criticizing crypto and saying that it's all over and all this stuff. Kind of funny to see these sort of articles that should potential investors in crypto be afraid. Maybe if you're not smart about it, but I think people who actually use their the volatility to their advantage. You just can't sleep on cryptocurrency in this day and age. I mean, the fact of the matter is that when it comes down to it, the HODL method isn't necessarily the best approach to have. I think that that's pretty much common knowledge at this point. But of course, an analysis claims that Ethereum and Litecoin are currently bearish despite recent gains. This is sort of an interesting article there. We'll be getting to that in a moment. 13% have used Bitcoin to buy stuff online, which is interesting because I believe that number is up from previous years. So there is a steady, basically interesting cryptocurrency that, but of course, will blockchain protocols create more value for HTTP protocols? Definitely some interesting things happening. But in the context of the recent gains that we've been seeing, obviously, Litecoin has been getting a lot of attention because they've been able to pull them. I mean, of course, Ethereum as well. The fact that they've been switching positions with XRP, that fight for the #2 spot, it continues to wage on. But at the same time, I think that people are fundamentally bearish, or on cryptocurrency in general. But all that aside, I think Litecoin does have a good community that's been growing around it. But I mean, the subject of this video is certainly going to be talking about how mobile mining and all these different things could really be the game changer that could essentially make a pretty big impact on the way that cryptocurrency is used and even perceived. Because I think that the average person out there definitely wants to get use out of the computing power that they have in their in their smartphone. And as we see more people all around the world getting to that point where they actually have the capability of mining, and using these mobile mining protocols and all these things, it's definitely exciting. So when we talk about the new developments, I mean, every time Electroneum comes up, we have to talk about how a lot of these different smartphones are now integrating with cryptocurrency in their new so it does definitely give us one of those top-down perspectives on exactly how cryptocurrency could be making a pretty big splash in the space, of course, with all these different things. I mean, we have to talk about this Bitfinex app now available on Android, and definitely interesting. I mean, this is the spark of what we're going to see happening across the board. Is mass adoption has its place in terms of the long-term perspective of how crypto tends to develop. We have to expect to see a lot of these different things in terms of regulations and that boring stuff that a lot of people don't really like to talk about. But the fact of the matter is that, I mean, big players are in the works with these different price momentum. But one thing that I definitely thought of that was important to talk about is, of course, just today, the amount of volatility that we've been seeing for Electroneum is pretty interesting. You could kind of see it in the context of the 7-day chart here. Obviously, Electroneum sort of retracing its steps from where it was earlier in the week. But I see that as sort of par for the course in the long term with the development of these different things. I mean, it's a slow crawl, but realistically, I think in cryptocurrency's fashion, we'll be seeing this space, really getting the attention that it deserves, as these things happen. I mean, we've got, Cardano is doing its thing, with Shelly. We've got, XRP is doing its thing. I mean, the fact of the matter is that behind the scenes, cryptocurrency is not sleeping by any means. I think it's the broader public that's disgruntled with crypto, and the broader ideas of what's happening on the world stage are certainly a distraction that I think when crypto finally has its moment, people are going to be wondering how they had slept on crypto for this long. And I think it's definitely interesting. I mean, we talked about in another video how essentially there's all these things happening with these you know, old cryptocurrency startups and so forth are getting sucked up by you know, these larger corporations that are putting these people to work because it's harder to maintain you know, a roof over your head in this current system, which is also interesting. It definitely is an indication that, I mean, blockchain's certainly on the radar, you know, to a large extent. But of course, you know, remember this video it is for entertainment, educational purposes only. You know, of course, if you guys are interested in connecting with us, you could do so on Twitter. You know, that's at CryptoTuber. Of course, make sure that you guys subscribe and comment down below and let us know what you guys think. But overall, I'm pretty bullish on, you know, Electroneum. I'm excited to see where this technology is going to take us in the near future. Now, I think that this is one of the more exciting projects that are valued under a penny at the current time. And, you know, personally, I mean, my opinion is, I mean, I think I'm going to be filling up my bags. Of course, you know, always do your own research. I mean, you don't want to take random YouTubers' words for, you know, this type of stuff. But because, I mean, it is a risky business. High risk is high reward, high reward, high risk. But yeah, all that being said, I mean, I think we've been able to cover a lot of interesting stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.